everyone, this is Tara Furiani.
And I'm Justin Boggs.
And you're hanging out with Not the HR Lady,
a web series about all things people.
No BS. Look, HR is not a four-letter word.
And this is not the HR Lady.
Nope.
It is still not the HR Lady.
Nope. 2 seasons in, still not the HR.
Episode 5 of 2 seasons in.
That's episode 5 already. Yes.
I feel like we're
it.
really close to like that cake that you get, like that you see on sets where it's like, it's our 100th episode.
How many episodes have we actually done?
I don't know, like 20 or
A lot.
something.
A
like
lot.
A good amount.
With all the like preseason and all the other stuff.
And all the news
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, yeah.
There's been a lot of episodes.
Yeah. Every day we hustling. Okay, so on a different song note altogether.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about this episode, I really wanted to take a completely different spin than we've talked about in other episodes in the DEI space. This one is called DEI or Die.
Or die.
It's crazy. But we've been talking a lot. It's the end of Black History Month, but is it?
No,
it isn't. We're going to keep
all
talking
year.
about Black history every year, every day, every
Every day.
month, on, and we're going to keep doing it. We're not confining Black history to a month.
absolutely not.
That being said, I want to take DEI in a different direction. We've talked about pronouns. We've talked about, people of color in the workplace. I want to talk about women.
Okay.
And the first thing that came to mind for me was Dolly Parton, right? Everybody knows it.
Why?
Because it's iconic. I mean, it's man, that movie was made in 1980. Right?
What movie?
9 to 5. Everybody knows what it is. When I say Dolly Parton and we think about the world of work.
What?
Are you kidding me? Like everybody knows. It has to be 9 to 5, right? Everybody knows. Like, this movie was made in 1980. And I want to show it. We're going to show some clips here in a second, but I want to set it up. That, this is obviously way before people were talking about any Me Too movement.
Yeah.
We're talking about any kind of like workplace harassment. And some of these clips, from a trigger warning perspective, it may trigger you. They're comedic, obviously, like this show. If this show doesn't trigger you, I don't know what will. You guys know that going in. But like, it can be triggery because things that are happening 40 years ago as comedy stereotypes about workplace harassment, sexism, and misogyny are still grossly relevant.
Yeah, today.
Today. We still
It's gross.
experience this. Many people who follow our show have absolutely experienced what we're about to see. So, quick, like our show, we use a lot of pop culture and entertainment value, if you will, humor, to talk about really serious issues. And this film, I think, does the same thing. Let's take a look.
So you've been telling everybody I'm sleeping with you, huh? No. Well, that explains it. That's why these people treat me like some dime store floozy.
No,
they think I'm screwing the boss.
That's not it at all.
Oh, and you just love it, don't you? It gives you some sort of cheap thrill, like knocking over pencils and picking
Sure,
up
honey, now
papers.
don't get excited.
Get your scummy hands off of me. Look, I've been straight with you from the first day I got here, and I put up with all your pinching and staring and chasing me around the desk because I need this job. But this is the last straw.
All right, now wait. Let's just sit down.
Look, I got a gun out there in my purse. And up to now, I've been forgiving and forgetting because of the way I was brought up. But I'll tell you one thing. If you ever say another word about me or make another indecent proposal, I'm going to get that gun of mine, and I'm going to change you from a rooster to a hen with one shot. Don't think I can't do it.
Shit.
What?
Now let me finish, okay? And don't go flying off the handle.
You gave that promotion to Bob Enright instead of me? I've got 5 years seniority over him.
I know that.
For Christ's sake, I trained him.
I know that. But see, the company...
Oh, the company bullshit. It's your decision. You promoted him. You tell me why.
Well, in the first place, see, Bob does have a college degree.
Oh,
Violet.
brilliant. Brilliant. While he's away at college getting his precious, useless degree, I'm working my butt off at this company.
And in the second place, he does have a family to support.
And I don't? What has that got to do with
Wait,
anything?
Violet, look, my hands are tied here. The company needs a man in this position. Clients would rather deal with men when it comes to figures.
Oh, now we're getting at it. I lose a promotion because of some idiot prejudice. The boys in the club are threatened, and you're so intimidated by any woman that won't sit at the back of the bus.
Spare me the women's lib crap, okay? Now, I know how you feel, and I understand it.
You understand zilch.
I understand I'm still a boss here. And even though you might be pretty valuable out there, you better get a hold of yourself. I'm not going to sit here and take this. God damn it. Dolly, get in here!
I can't believe that film was released 9 days before I was born. Really?
It is. It's crazy though. Like
In
that movie
1980.
grossed $100 million.
Yeah. Do you know that it is the 20th highest grossing comedy film of all time?
No, I didn't.
That's crazy, right? And it has a really good approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that that means anything, but it's a little more,
Yeah.
less biased, I guess, because it's, people who watch
Yeah.
it and rate it.
That's really cool though. Like the scene though where she's like, "You're gonna hire him over me," and he's like,
Promote,
well,
yeah.
promote him," and he's like, "Well, our customers like to hear the numbers, from a man." It's just like, oh my god, like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right? And Dolly, I mean, who doesn't love Dolly, obviously, but like she's sticking up for herself, and what you notice in there is a lot of pain in saying like, I've dealt with the pinches, I've dealt with the comments, I've dealt with the pats on the butt. I need this job, so I deal with it. But you're not going to start spreading lies about me.
Yeah, that's
How terrible is that? And how sad is it that there are many people watching this show right now, and at least actually both of us sitting here who have experienced workplace harassment?
yeah. And it's just going to continue until we can get everybody on the same page that it is not okay.
No.
It's not okay.
No, it isn't. It really isn't. I mean, this film again was 40 years ago. 20 years ago, it was prevalent in my career. Now, 40 years later, still prevalent. Who knows how many more years we have to stop it? We have to do something.
Yeah.
There's some things that happened in the world this week. And I want to just talk about them really quick, which is not on your notes, really, just for clarity. So don't look at me like I'm crazy, but LinkedIn crashed this week. I didn't realize that. Did you?
No.
So apparently LinkedIn crashed and people were freaking the fuck out. Like thought that they had been kicked off. Like I feel like there's a lot of people who experienced the same kind of panic that I myself and many others who speak out against workplace bullshit have experienced in being kicked off the platform. And people were like panicking about it, pacing.
Yeah, I didn't know that happened.
That totally happened. I didn't know either. Apparently you couldn't log in, but I guess.
Did you ever have a problem?
No, but I guess we weren't logging in. It seemed to be some kind of system-wide issue. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it had something to do with Texas being frozen, but Texas was frozen.
Yes, it was.
It's been a wild week. And Ted Cruz went to Cancun to escape the living conditions here in Texas and
Took his family
took his family.
and blamed it on his fucking children.
He blamed his kids.
I just want to be a good dad, and my children wanted to go, so
My
I
kids
said
wanted to go to the
yes.
Ritz-Carlton in Cancun.
Like, fuck you, dude. Like, don't blame your kids.
My kids wanted to go to the Ritz-Carlton in Cancun. Those are independent words that I definitely would never have strung together.
No.
In the middle of an ice storm and a pandemic, as that our leadership in Texas would say. But the best trolling ever award,
Oh, the mariachi band.
apparently a mariachi band showed up there. We posted it on our Facebook page at Not the HR Lady. Showed up at his house and played like mariachi music.
I love that.
On his lawn.
Like, that is the ultimate troll.
I love
like,
it.
That is so good. Whoever did that, thank you. That was hilarious and much needed.
Yeah, like a margarita truck and a taco truck would have like taken it over the top.
Ooh, yeah.
But like I'm an overachiever. So man, I wish I would have thought of that in the first place. That is really, really, really funny.
It is.
Yeah.
So we do reference films a lot.
We do.
We do because we are trying to make the information that we share digestible and actionable and inspiring and all of the things that we do, like we did with the Chappelle episode.
Absolutely.
Right? To really kind of connect and really hope that people can really understand what we're trying to say with this and
Absolutely.
to create a dialogue.
That's right. I mentioned it earlier in the episode. Pop culture, like movies and music, help articulate real issues via entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Help explain difficult to understand and really oftentimes self-reflection sort of things that need to happen.
Yeah. So I want to go back to a 2016 article, a Variety article by Alyssa Sage, UCLA's Hollywood Diversity Report, which was conducted by Ralph J. Bunch, Center for African American Studies, examined 63 films.
Wow.
They examined 63 films, okay, released in 2014. So what they had found was the median global sales of the productions with a 51 to 50% non-white cast.
A 41 to 51. 50%.
41 to 50%.
Yeah.
Was $122 million.
What?
Compared to,
okay, to what?
The $53 million for films with non-white casts, less than 10%.
So the ones that were more diverse
made a lot more money.
They made a fuck ton more.
Like a lot more money.
Like more than double.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically in 2016, the film industry knew that diverse films perform better at the global box office. Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they knew it.
Okay.
Right off the bat.
All right. That was 16 though.
Yeah. I mean, it was 2016, but
so we've known for a while.
But it's one of those things where like
later.
Something had to happen where they were like, well, let's see what's going on here. Right.
Well, what happened in 17?
Well, they also did a report published by the CAA.
Right. So that is CAA is a huge talent agency who represents like some of the biggest stars.
Yeah.
It's the creative artist agency.
Yeah. That's the one.
Okay.
They found that films with a diverse cast perform better across all budgets.
Okay.
Yeah. At the time, the study, which looked at 413 recent releases, and found that those with a cast of at least 30% actors of color outperformed those with a primarily white cast.
Wow.
Like,
wow.
Yeah. There's more money in the diversity here.
Yeah, exactly. Which brought more money at the box office.
Which suggested that diverse cast meant more diverse audience, which brought in more money at the box office, which means you're broadening your group,
your demographic,
right? Your demographic,
your reach.
Yeah.
So more and more studies are finding the same result. That financial gain happens when diversity is present. Huh. What's your shirt say?
Schoolhouse Rock.
Right?
Knowledge is power.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, and if 5 years of studies and thousands of movies analyzed weren't enough to convince you that DEI is a critical part of every organizational future's financial health.
Yeah.
Like, here's a 2021 brand spanking new study conducted.
Hot off the presses.
Yeah. Conducted by researchers at UCLA. The Center for Scholars and Storytellers.
Ooh, that sounds
they
like a
analyzed
cool
over 100 films released from 2016 to 2019.
Okay, so super recent.
Super recent.
Because 2020, nothing happened.
Right, not much came out.
No.
And everything went to fucking stream and
that's right.
Disney Plus and all that stuff. So yeah, from 2016 to 2019, they tracked how much each film earned in the U.S. as well as its diversity score.
So I didn't even know about this Mediaversity, and now I am really excited to jump into it. And if you
like a diversity score,
haven't heard about this, like it's Mediaversity, which takes into account not just who works like on a movie in terms of gender, race, sexuality, and disability status, but whether the story is authentic, culturally relevant, and inclusive. So it's like another great little benchmark for the entertainment industry. Gets it wrong a lot.
Yes, they do.
Obviously. But in a lot of ways, I think that they get it right too.
Yeah, it's changing.
It's definitely there's definitely a shift
because
for sure.
Well, for them it's money motivated, right?
Well, but isn't everybody? So that's what we'd all like to live in, some kind of like rose-colored glass situation that organizations just want to do the best thing for people. But the bottom line is that the organizations want to do the best thing for shareholders.
Right.
And that doesn't have to be for just public companies, that can be private shareholders. And
that's why we're bringing this up. Like, if everything that we have said doesn't register or resonate with you,
where you're like, I should be a good person.
I should be a good person. Nah, that doesn't.
That's not enough motivation.
That's not enough motivation. How about right in the pocketbook or the wallet, right?
Right in that cha-ching, or in your Apple Pay.
Do we need to get that? Your Bitcoins, whatever it is. Your money motivation is,
your currency.
Let's talk that, because maybe that'll actually get you to understand.
Right.
So they found that films ranked below average for diversity take a financial hit at the box office.
Okay.
Of course, because there's over double, right, that they're missing out on.
Right.
Compared to films that rank above. So even after accounting for critical acclaim, big budget films lacking in diversity make about $27 million less on their opening weekend.
Wow.
So that's a potential loss of like $130 million.
Wow. So they're just leaving
$130 million on the table. If they're like, I don't want that many black people in my movie. It's like, okay, well, you don't want $130 million on average either. So...
yeah, I need all white men for this film. And it's like, cool. I hope you don't like an extra $130 million.
Yeah. And that's gross.
That's really gross.
That's a lot of money. But like Daryl said in the previous episodes, you know, like
absolutely.
Our dollars are huge.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right. Our numbers may be small.
Our numbers may be small, but the dollars
are
huge. And that goes with everyone, like women, transgender. Everybody has a place, and in the sense of like, especially the box office. Like they've got their money, and if you don't put anything out that's appealing or that shows diversity, people aren't going to go to them. They're not going to go to the movies.
No.
It doesn't make sense to go.
Well, I think, and this is, again, isn't in our script either, but I think that's why chains like Alamo were a lot more appealing, because there was absolutely a thought in the diversity of the films that were shown. That was what Alamo was known for.
All the weird one-off stuff.
Absolutely.
That like, they weren't afraid to show, like, this is not a big budget movie.
That's right.
This is kind of like a niche.
Right.
And killed it with that.
Absolutely. Because people want to see foreign language films. People are fine reading subtitles.
Absolutely.
People watch, operas in different languages all the time and feel the same emotion. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you've never watched one, go watch Pretty Woman and go to the scene where they go to the opera and they watch Pirates of Penzance.
Go watch Birdcage.
Right, go watch the Bird.
The movie is hilarious.
Yes, there are so many opportunities like to just, get out of whatever like the mainstream is, and the proof is in the pudding. Like, sure, did Alamo show mainstream films? Of course. But a lot of business was made up through these films, which featured female filmmakers, foreign filmmakers, people who you're not necessarily in your traditional USC School of Film bought by my parents.
Yeah.
It's other people who clawed their way up. It's people who work at the company who are filmmakers.
Brand new artists, brand new directors.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody.
It's that same idea. Like, and there's proof in that, right? Are other chains successful? Sure.
Yes.
But this is like a niche chain that does this really interesting kind of weird thing.
And that's what made Alamo like really awesome.
Right.
Like with the movie choices and stuff. I mean, every company has their issues, but like Alamo was really pushing to like really put out all kinds of movies.
Right.
And
so
I think
that people
that was
had
awesome.
A lot of options to like learn and explore. And experience different cultures and different films in other countries that are being done. I think we get really naive here in the U.S. in thinking, once again, that we're some superpower and that in other places, they're just watching our stuff. That's not true.
Not true.
There's a film industry in pretty much every country.
Yeah.
And there's actors and stars and celebrities. The ones here in the U.S. are maybe international, but maybe not all of them are. So it's a really interesting thing to step outside of your box if you don't normally do that. When you think about movies, that's a really great place to start that journey for you. Maybe that's an easy segue in, is like watch a foreign language film. What's that one that we love? I know there's several.
There's a lot.
Ex Machina.
Oh yeah, Ex Machina.
It's foreign language, right?
No,
Is
it's
it not?
But it's like it could have been. It should have been.
That's so funny. In my mind, maybe
No.
Mandela. In my mind, I thought that was a foreign language film.
Uh-uh.
I fucked it up then.
But it is such a good movie.
It is a really good
it's
film.
So
I think you should
weird,
still watch it
weird,
anyway.
Trippy movie.
Great, like indie film.
And if anybody doesn't know, it's about this kid gets offered to come to this creator's house. He's this like really, really good inventor, and he made basically a robot with true AI. And this kid is there, this guy is there to test the AI to see if it is true, and fucking shit gets weird.
It is a really good film.
It is a really, really, really good film. So
Yeah. I could have sworn it was foreign language, though. Now I feel stupid for bringing it up. But it is a really good film. So if that's all you take away from this little moment,
hey,
you're welcome.
We're gonna drop all kinds of knowledge bombs
That's right.
at you.
Crazy
DEI and like check out this good movie.
Check out this good indie film. There's a really important and relevant question in the Q&A section of that same study or that same article that you were just citing, where one of the researchers at UCLA, Yalda Yules, the question was, for people who want to create a film that has authentically inclusive representation, what do they need to think about throughout the process? And when I read it, couldn't help but realize the same kind of dichotomy that organizations are facing. Our audience, many come from the entertainment film space, of course, is deeply rooted in the business of all the industries, frankly, but certainly in business, and the same methodology applies. If you just replace writers and characters and stories with work and real people, Yalda says from the very beginning, they need to make sure that they have someone who understands the story and perhaps has had a lived experience with the story. You can't have the same lived experience as every character you write about. So we don't believe at the center that if you haven't lived the experience, you can't write or create it. At the same time, you really have to do your research. You have to do your homework. You have to consult with the right people. You have to check your unconscious bias. We use a literal checklist. If it's a television show, do you have people in the writer's room that can speak to your character's experiences? If you don't have them, have you done your research? Have you consulted with the right people? Have you had them read it? Have you had them give you their notes? Have you done it over and over and over and over and over again? And have you taken those notes?
Like, that is such a true statement. It's a great question, like, because I wonder how many people have wondered that, just like afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Right. And
sure.
She nails it on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't be authentic if you don't have somebody in the room that has this lived experience of this character that you're trying to create.
Right.
So yes, you can be imaginative and everything that you want it to be, but that is not going to be an authentic character, which is what you're trying to create.
Right.
Something believable.
Yes.
Right. So you need those people in the room that have that experience.
Yeah.
And that, like, she just said it beautifully.
I agree. And she's talking about the writing process, but the writing process is no different than building like your DEI strategy. And that's where I want everybody to see the assimilation, like, or the similarities, is that you can't create beautiful storytelling in film and have a diverse cast if everything is written by a non-diverse group of people or person.
Group.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually a group, the writer's room.
Right. And then that's the same sort of kind of deal with DEI, is like a group full of white men cannot determine the DEI strategy of an organization. And I'm sorry, you can be as qualified as you want. You can be, all the things. But at the end of the day, if you all look the same,
that's not diversity.
There's zero diversity there. So,
and
not
you're not
relying on
including.
that. There's zero inclusivity here at this point.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a really big opportunity and a lesson to be learned with the film industry, especially related to the monetization that diverse films bring.
Yeah.
Diverse films bring more income. Organizations that celebrate people and diversity will have more financial success, more long-term success.
I'm glad that study came out.
I am too.
I didn't know about the earlier studies, but like I want to blast this. We need to put that on our website
Definitely.
or something. That way everybody can really see this and see that like diversity is not just the right thing to do, right? DEI is not just the right thing to do. You should do it. Be a good fucking person. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
But it also pays, right? If you're taking care of your people,
Not performative pay.
not
Let's be
performative,
clear.
pay them a good wage. Like we're all in this together.
Absolutely.
Everyone is going to lift up your company. And if everyone is doing that, your company's making money.
Yeah.
I'm not like super heated right now, but like I will get heated here in a second.
Well, let's jump to recapping a little bit of last week's episode.
Yeah, last week's episode and live show was all about the technology of DEI, like human bias using tech in DEI efforts, and so much more. We found
we went off the
we talked
wagon a
about
lot.
how like tech is great, and it's going to take tech, when you're covering thousands and thousands of people in your organization, but tech fails. LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
I guess just this week it failed, but it also failed when people were getting flagged for things that they shouldn't have been, and their accounts were deleted or just on hiatus, right? On hold. So we talked a lot about that, and it was awesome, and it was sponsored by our good friends at People Element.
Hi, friends.
Hello.
Thank you again, People Element.
Yeah, Tom Horn, Megan Youngkin, Josh Ian, Jerry Johnson, Julie Allig. I wasn't going to say it because I knew I was going to fuck it up.
It's okay.
But that's right. Julie Allig. Julie's awesome. She's
at JLA Analytics, and
she's
does
great.
the data of all things.
Yeah,
especially people.
her segment was awesome.
Absolutely.
She said some really, really good stuff.
And the biggest takeaways from that episode, from all of our episodes, I guess, is you just can't throw like a black person or a system or a press release at your diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging strategy
No.
and like call it a day. Okay. You need a people strategy with executive buy-in. It's critical. And if you don't want to do it because you're a good human being, like fuck you a little, but do it because it's going to make your company more profitable, while at the same time building some kind of wealth for the people who are building yours.
Yes.
This isn't like some, Melissa Etheridge commercial or whatever. Who sings? Which Sarah McLachlan. I picked the wrong one.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
I picked
it
the wrong
really
90s
isn't.
rock chick.
It's okay.
Like nobody's sponsoring the dogs right now. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying it like woe is us, but also woe is us a little bit. Organizations are absolutely thriving by and large. Have we lost so many? Yes. Are they still down and out? Sure. Will they come back? I hope so.
I hope so.
But there are many organizations, and I don't need to cite anything. You guys all see it, that are doing phenomenally well while still maintaining the status quo with their employees. And that's just a goddamn tragedy.
Yeah. For this episode, we have a great person on.
Oh my God, Alan is my favorite
Alan is so
human
good.
being.
He sent us a little Easter egg nugget.
I don't know if we can say what it is.
Of a video of him, and it was really, really funny. He was doing stand up. I'm not going to say any of his stuff, but it was
I don't think his name's tagged to it or anything.
Good.
It
I
was
don't think
so
so.
good.
It was so good.
Alan, you need to let us put it on our site because everyone should watch you. You were fucking hilarious. Brilliant. But I know you know that because I text you the whole time I watched it.
So let's hear from our friend over at the Trampoline Group.
Yes.
Alan Ibbitson. It's his Not the HR Lady edition of Wisdom You Didn't Ask For, but suddenly can't live without. So check it out.
Hi, I'm Alan Ibbitson. I'm an executive coach and founder of the Trampoline Group. We're an OD and consulting firm based in New York City. Thank you, Tara and Justin, for inviting me onto the show. It's an honor to be here and give you a special, exclusive, not the HR lady. I can't even say that, not the HR lady edition of Wisdom You Didn't Ask For, but suddenly can't lead without. That's hashtag YDAF if you're looking for it. So DEI or die is a very apt title, isn't it? Because I wish the message that more leaders understood as they make that first commitment to DEI is that at times dying might literally feel like an easier option. Anybody who knows anything about this work, and I know you all do, is that they know that it's not for lightweights, or for people who are used to dialing it in. Why? Because anybody who knows anything about this work also knows that you will very quickly meet some pretty epic, fragile, privileged, and at times very united resistance. At least you will if you're doing it right. And it surprises me that people are still surprised that smashing a patriarchy and dismantling white supremacy inside an organization involves ruffling a few white feathers. How can this be anything but disruptive and uncomfortable if you're doing it properly? Beats me. But that's why it's so hard for us white folks, isn't it? We don't know how to engage in disruptive conversations and how to talk about hard things. White people have this addiction to toxic civility and rampant, warm, toasty comfort. It's why we name books about the simple act of speaking truth with names like Radical Candor. Radical. It's actually a great book, but it sounds like it was named by a focus group at Fox News. All the messaging just strengthens this notion that to make people uncomfortable is impolite at best and risky at worst. And so leaders then end up afraid and then really badly handling situations that are inevitably going to come up. Like, for instance, white lady tears. Ah, lovely. The very much loved Sylvia, who didn't really mean to offend. And so she ends up being showered in sympathy for being made to feel bad. While the black woman on the receiving end essentially is told to sit down, be quiet, and stop causing trouble. Sylvia said a shitty racist thing, so instead of making excuses for her, she has to be dealt with appropriately, sending an important message to the rest of the organization that you are not actually fucking around and that you do actually mean what you say about inclusion and diversity. Are your leaders ready for that? Because when they've done that one, there's a very long list of others, but I'll give you one of my personal favorites. The indignation of that executive white gay male sponsor for your employee resource group when he gets checked on his privilege. Because everybody thought that a gay guy was a good idea, even though he's white, he's diverse. Tell me, what does he know about the lived experience of anyone black or Asian in a time of COVID, or even transgender, frankly? He likes to forget that it was actually black trans women that started Stonewall and paved the way for his acceptance into mainstream society, while the new generation of black trans women are still being murdered at alarming rates. And I haven't even talked about or started on the straight white men yet, have I? I guess we'll do that later. Nothing can actually prepare leaders for all of this except a solid education on DEI, clarity of purpose, courage, resolve, and a really, really good support network of advisors who will help them understand even when they think they already do. Progress is slow because leadership is weak, and I think that's a big problem for us to solve if we want to crack this thing. That's my YDAF for Not the HR Lady. I'll see you later.
Okay, so like ruffling a few white feathers.
Well, white feathers. I love that. That was hilarious.
And white lady tears. I'm not sure
that's
which.
Your new thing right now.
I'm not sure which one is my favorite saying. Ruffling a few white feathers or white lady tears. I can't decide.
Yeah.
The stark difference between the examples he gave, the white lady and the black lady, are so spot on. Everybody's so sympathetic to like, oh, the white lady didn't know she was being racist, and the black lady is like, just go back to work, right? Like that's the treatment to her. There's no empathy that she was just called like, whatever.
But if she does say something, she's being the angry woman, and it's just
let's be clear, the angry black woman.
Yeah.
Because white women, that we're not called that. That's not a thing I sounded really New York right then. Sometimes my accent.
We're not called that.
We're not called that. My accent gives me the weirds. I don't even know where it comes from. But it's like, we're not called that. Like, we might be called bitches and cunts and other things, but angry white women is like not a phrase. But angry black woman is. And I think that fucking sucks. Like, it doesn't just fucking suck. It is gross. It is oppressive. Yes. It needs to change. And if you're doing that, you are part of the problem. And you check your probably white ass and like think about how you can be a better human being.
Yeah. And nothing can like prepare these leaders except for support and clarity and advisors, and a budget. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A budget. So follow #WYDAF, that's WYDAF, and absolutely connect with Alan and his firm, the Trampoline Group. He is amazing, a great person to talk to, has an astounding
professional career,
and an abundance of information and knowledge.
Yeah. And thank you, Alan, for doing a very special, not the HR lady edition, even though you couldn't say it, but it's okay. I still love you. Of wisdom you didn't ask for, but suddenly can't live without. I really appreciate it, friend. Cheers to you. All right. So you mentioned last week that an October 2020 study by Deloitte said that 96% of CEOs now consider DEI to be a strategic priority.
Yes, I did.
A 2016 study shows that inclusive cultures are twice as likely to meet or exceed financial targets, 3 times as likely to be high performing, 6 times more likely to be innovative and agile, and 8 times more likely to achieve better business outcomes. And this is exactly what we said on the last show. And I just wanted to restate those facts.
Yeah.
Because we talked at the beginning of the show about the entertainment industry, the film industry specifically. But the same thing applies here in the worlds of work.
Yeah. So, okay. So how do companies
Studies
get on
are
track?
saying the same thing.
So how do they get on track?
All right, I want to make it easy. If you're not already rolling with a solid DEI and people strategy, then there are 2 things that need to happen. First, do we want to money again? Is that overplayed?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, now I've made it weird. But the first thing you need is money. I want money. No?
That's what I want.
That's what I want. We had to do it. I'm sorry. It's actually not in the script. But having a DEIB and people strategy is going to cost you money. Consult with an expert who has real world experiences of building strategies like this within organizations. This will not be cheap. Experts, at least the real ones, are worth their weight and their cost, but expect to pay. And expect there to be costs beyond their fees as well.
Yeah.
How much do you spend annually on your office snack budget?
And be honest with yourself.
Be honest. What about travel and expenses, meals and entertainment in a non-pandemic year? It's going to cost that much. Probably more, but the rewards.
Yeah. I mean, just like we talked about with the film studies from 2016 to this year, diversity and inclusivity makes more money than those who don't. Like, to the tune of how much?
$130 million.
$130 million.
What? Who wants to leave that money on the table?
No.
While also not being an asshole.
I know. It's the if the right thing to do isn't enough, $130 million more, like that should get your fucking attention. Is that worth it?
Maybe it'll even soften those racist and misogynistic hearts.
Money. I feel like Burns, Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
I don't know why, but I feel like the Lord of the Rings all of a sudden, like very is it Gollum?
Gollum.
The other day I took a Facebook quiz.
Tomato,
I don't do that
tomato.
often, but it was like 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep, and it was like, "What celebrity do you look like?" And it said I looked like Gollum.
What?
No, I know because I swapped.
And then you're
it.
like, I gotta fucking do that again.
I'm like, I don't look like
I
Gollum.
don't look like Gollum. I
This
look
is
like Chris
bullshit.
Evans. Fuck yeah.
The next one was Chris Evans, and I was
Captain
like,
America.
I do look like Captain America. You're goddamn right, I do. Look, so like at the beginning of the show, we played a clip from 9 to 5.
Yes.
And as it turns out, us ladies are worth more than just fetching your coffee and getting our asses pinched.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I just wonder like how we get to like the next place.
I think I know what the second part is.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Like your leaders are critical to your success of your DEIB and people efforts.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And the executive team building, communications, and even like deep training in the space will go a long way to achieve those best results.
Absolutely. And if your exec team doesn't have a coach for the team or individual, but mostly one for the team as well, to help them through their unconscious biases, through their blockers, through their communication struggles, both internal and with their own teams, this is a huge missed opportunity for your organization that doesn't even cost that much. Leadership must be the driving force when it comes to who is walking the talk. And organizations, you need to support your leaders.
Yeah.
We often forget and don't spend any money. And we shouldn't, frankly, because the pay disparity between entry-level workers or frontline workers and higher-level workers is disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross.
But organizations also need to recognize the contributions that those higher-level workers do bring to the group, and investing in them in meaningful ways is also prudent. I mean, a lot of times it goes really by the wayside after management. And we tell you how to be a manager, like run reports and stuff. We don't tell you to lead people a lot of times. But it doesn't go beyond like a basic leadership 101, and that's just a disservice.
Yeah. Now, this advice is free for the taking.
Yeah.
So, you're getting some free advice from Not the HR Lady.
Yeah.
We do have advice that comes with a fee, but please reach out to us.
And we can help you with your journey. Scale your journey, coach your executive teams. Don't go it alone. Don't put it in the wrong hands.
Mm-hmm.
Let us help you and work with your team on building the workplace that you would like to see, where people are included and people belong. Visit notthehrlady.com if you want to learn more.
Yes, please do. This felt like a quick episode.
I agree. How long?
Like this,
I don't even know how long it was.
This just fucking flew by.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a wrap on episode 5 of season 2. Like that's and not a lettuce wrap. I'm not hungry right now, so
I'm
we
not
can go
hungry
for
either.
a wrap.
Yeah, a rap. Drop me a sick beat. I keep saying it. You never do it.
This was please don't.
No, this
or
is
not. Sorry,
DEI or die.
DEI or die. I was thinking about the last episode where I was like, I'm hungry. I need a lettuce wrap.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
There's nothing wrong with that.
We drink wine during the episode. And thank you to Chateau Ste. Michelle for beautiful
Yes.
Cabernet that we're enjoying.
Yes.
And thank you to Ibbitson, right?
Yeah, they sent me like an upgrade and an extremely like great discount on upgrading all of the software for this. So thank you, Ableton.
Like free.
yeah. Like thank you, Ableton, for doing that. That was really cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate you doing that. So I can't wait to dive into the new Ableton Live 11. which has a lot of really cool features now. So
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of special guests and surprise guests joining us as soon as this ends. And I think everybody's used to me saying that at this point, right? Like,
yeah, like, am I going to be, is Dolly Parton
It's not
coming?
Dolly. It's not been Sandy. It's not been like anybody. It hasn't been anybody.
I wanted Dave Chappelle to show up and Sandy.
I mean, so did I.
And Dolly. Maybe next time.
I mean, Gary Kelly came.
Yeah.
CEO
We're going to have Alan. We're going to have Alan.
We're going to have Alan. Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Alan's really
we actually
awesome.
have a really great lineup. We have Lauren, who's joined us before. Do you want to do his last name?
No, but it's
Lauren Bornstein.
Steen. It's Bornstein.
I'm just fucking with you.
Lauren is fucking hilarious. Like,
Yes.
I love Lauren. He is so
too.
good.
And also, he has an amazing insight as a
Yes.
trans person.
Yes.
And we're
yes.
excited to hear a little bit about his journey. We also have Janelle Benjamin with All Things Equitable. She does a White and Woke series. I've been on it. Please look it up and subscribe to her show. And I don't know for sure if we're going to have this person, so I'm not going to say who may be coming, but I think everybody else is coming. Immediately
Could
following
be a
this
secret special
episode,
guest.
I know it's pretty exciting. It's not Dolly, so like don't get super excited, but like also get really excited because it's gonna be a great conversation. Right now, go to assets.
Assets, not assholes.com.
.com.
We're going to
Ooh,
get
that
sued
was
for
ugly.
that. We're going to get sued by Yahoo.
I
for
know,
that.
probably. That is where the official after party and the live chat will be, and you do not want to miss this. Every week, it is hundreds of people and us having a great time with all of our special guests.
Yes. Join us next week. Same time, same place, 7 p.m. Central at DEI.com and our after show at Assets, Not Assholes.
.com.
Yeah. We're so fucking nerdy.
I know.
And corny.
I'm Tara Furiani.
And I'm Justin Boggs. And this has been Not the HR Lady. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Not the HR Lady.
Engage with us on any social platform at Not the HR Lady and visit our website for more people stuff at notthehrlady.com.
New episodes will be out every week. We'll see you next time.
Bye.